This is Fox First at 10.
Smoke and flames filling the skies, fear and concern growing from Okanagan County all the way to Spokane. Hundreds of firefighters doing all they can to save homes and stop the flames. The scariest fire happening near an apartment complex in North Spokane. That fire breaking out just before 7 tonight. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm John Webb. You can see just how close the flames came to the apartment complex located along West Francis and North Ash in North Spokane. The fire quickly burning through trees and debris. Evacuations were ordered as several firefighters battled the flames. One witness says people were banging on doors to let everyone know what was going on.
It was very scary. And it just got worse and worse. And finally the fire department came and they were quick, but you know, these trees are so dry that it just took off like crazy.
Luckily, nothing was damaged. We're told the Spokane Fire Department will release more information soon. We will have more on the other fires in just a moment, but I'm here in the Weather Center with weather forecaster Ava Wainhouse, and for most of the day, we were under a red flag warning.
Yeah, we were. That just expired about 30 minutes ago, actually expiring a little bit sooner than we thought. That was going to go until about 10 p.m. for us. Now, we did see that red flag warning in place most of the day. The National Weather Service called that around 10 or noon today, and that again was supposed to last about 10 p.m. Taking a look at those current conditions for us, about 74 degrees right now in Spokane, mostly clear skies across the board. We're dropping into the 60s, about 10:01 for you. Coeur d'Alene, 67 degrees. Pullman, about 68 degrees. We're seeing those light moderate winds, but the reason we were seeing that red flag warning in place was for that low humidity, very dry conditions. Right now we are seeing improvement, about 23% in Spokane. So we're lightening up on that red, very dry color, about 26% in Ritzville right now, 22% humidity in Brewster, 23 in Kettle Falls. Just a few hours ago, we were seeing as low as 10% in some areas. Those wind speeds also contributing to that. We are seeing some improvement, about 9 miles per hour in Spokane right now, 16 in Moses Lake. Still pretty strong through Vantage, but they're pretty used to those wind speeds over there. That satellite and radar illustrating that it was a very clear and dry day for us. And because of that, we did see some widespread haze and smoke. Here's that latest radar for you. Light gray color for us. So we're not seeing a huge amount of smoke up near the northern mountains where we're seeing moderate to thick smoke. Now we could see that continue into the next couple of days. I'll have that full forecast come up in just a few minutes. John.
We'll be watching for that, Ava. Thank you. And this map showing you where all the fires are currently burning or have burned across the inland northwest. You can see just how active it is. Firefighters are still putting out the hot spots with this fire 1 mile outside the Spokane city limits. The fire started just before 2 o'clock this afternoon along Katy Lane near South Wilby Road. We know it has burned more than a dozen acres and is 50% contained. Our Adam Schwager talked to neighbors who could just watch and wait.
Of course, I didn't think it would ever really happen, and here it is, firsthand.
For Katie Schuhart, the smoke is something she didn't want to see.
Fires move uphill, and I live on top of a mountain, so we've always tried to do what we can to make sure the brush was kept away from the house.
She lives near where the brush fire started, just beyond Spokane South Hill and between US 95 and Highway 27.
With all that ammunition against it, I was pretty comforted that they would handle it. And right now it looks like they have.
All while 14-year-old Sienna Kemmer is worried and waits as the flames spread, edging closer to her house.
We have 3 cats at our house, and my first thought was, did you guys grab my cats? Because they are my life.
A worry, luckily, that was just that. Firefighters were able to quickly put out the 14-acre fire before any significant damage could be done.
I mean, I was really scared because it's like my biggest fear, something catching on fire. And because it's like one bad thing and everything can be over and everything you've ever known just burned to the ground.
As for Schuhart, she has experienced several brush fires throughout her life. To say she is feeling relieved would be an understatement.
I'm just so grateful. We should all, as a community, be grateful to having access to all this support and help, and the money being spent now is immeasurable.
That was our Adam Schwager reporting. New video tonight on this fire burning near the Canadian border that forced 200 people from their homes. Evacuations have been downgraded for the Eagle Bluff fire burning near Orville, which is in the Okanagan County. So far, it has burned more than 10,000 acres. It started around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. You can see in this video just how intense the flames are burning across both Washington and Canada. A scary day for pilots in North Idaho after a plane and helicopter come crashing down at different times. Let's start in Priest Lake, where this small plane landed in the water at Kavanaugh Bay. You can see a large crowd gathering to do all they could do to help. According to the Bonner County Sheriff's Office, 3 people were on board. The 2 adults and 1 child were rushed to the hospital. We do not know their conditions at this point. Well, Jessica Lively, who was on the lake when it happened, says she's never seen anything like this.
It shattered a bunch of our windows in the cabin, bunch of debris. The wheels were right next to us, as you can see in the pictures. I sent a picture of what the tree looked like that they hit. Yeah, it was terrifying. There's blood all over our chairs and towels.
Lively says her husband helped pull the 3 passengers out of that plane. She and her children had to take a soapy bath to rinse the jet fuel off. Tonight, the FAA and the NTSB are investigating. A helicopter goes down in Bonner County after losing power, and everyone on board walks away with minor scratches. Deputies say the helicopter went down in the Blanchard area just before 12:30 this afternoon. We do know the NTSB is investigating and has returned the chopper to the owner. No other details are being released. A man now under arrest accused of playing a role in this house fire. The fire broke out around 1 o'clock this afternoon near Nevada and Garland in Spokane. Everyone inside was out by the time crews got there. Firefighters did rescue 3 animals. Damage is estimated at $50,000. A shocking find in the Spokane River after a body was pulled out of the water. Several people called 911 saying they spotted the body. Investigators arrived to North River Point Boulevard around 12:30. The body was taken to the Spokane County Medical Examiner's office, where they will figure out who the person is and how they died. The Idaho woman convicted of murdering her 2 children is set to be sentenced tomorrow. It was back in May. Lori Vallow was found guilty of killing her children Tylee and JJ. She was also found guilty of conspiracy in the murder of her husband's first wife, Tammy Daybell. She faces life in prison. Meanwhile, her husband, Chad Daybell, is set to go on trial next year for similar charges. If he's convicted, he could face the death penalty. To a traffic alert tonight, multiple construction projects getting underway in Spokane, which might mean you need to plan on some extra time to get where you're going. The TJ Meanock Bridge closes tomorrow and will stay closed until August 4th. There's detours in place on Maple and Ash and Government Way. Also starting tomorrow, Northwest Boulevard closes for the entire week. And crews will be putting in new sidewalks on Cochrane, Alberta, and Driscoll streets. We have details on detours on our website. That's Fox 28 Spokane. So much more to come tonight on Fox First at 10. When it comes to the most expensive gas in the nation, Washington State no longer holds the title. How much we're paying to fill up. Then firefighters coming to the rescue of an animal as its family cries for help. That's coming up in your Fox Find. But first, it's been a weekend of high fire danger thanks to the weather. So what lies ahead for this week? Ava has your complete forecast in just 90 seconds.
Already there.
I know. Ava, thank you. The Seattle Mariners have some big decisions to make before their trade deadline. Noah Schmick joins us now at the desk with more on those decisions.
Yeah, well, we'll see, John. The Mariners have got less than 48 hours to decide if they'll buy or sell, but they may be waiting to see how they finish this series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Sunday series finale, it was 105 degrees down there in the desert, but this series, the Mariners have been hot in the first inning. Mike Ford, it's just a ball for a walk. No hits there, but Ty France would keep the 2-out rally going. His 500th career hit, it's an RBI single to extend the early lead. And then in the second inning, it's our best friend, J.P. Crawford, and he put the P in power. A solo blast makes it a 3-0 lead. And just like that, the Mariners have a comfortable lead. Luis Castillo, he was dominant today. 6 innings pitched, only 2 hits given up, and his 7th strikeout against the Seattle kid Corbin Carroll in the 6th. The series win in Arizona. Now a 3-game homestand against the Red Sox starting tomorrow night. And we'll go over, yeah, it looks like we're having some technical. Thank you. I appreciate that, John. Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks, they're still missing some key players for training camp. I love this. Here we go. Hawks head coach Pete Carroll confirmed today in practice, number 4, that starting running back Kenneth Walker is out with a groin injury. And the Hawks' second-round pick, Zach Charbonnet, is getting tests done on an injured shoulder. No specific timetables were given for either player on how long they'll be out for. This is a very funny look. I appreciate, John. We're gonna go get away from the sports. We'll give it back to you. All right, John.
Mic drop. All right.
Mic drop.
We're back after this. Well, gas prices back on the rise. AAA says the national average has jumped 21 cents in just the past month. In eastern Washington, prices range from $4.55 a gallon to $4.85. Meanwhile, across the state line in Idaho, it's costing anywhere from $3.82 a gallon to $4.15. And Washington State is no longer the most expensive place for gas. Reporter Christina Coleman breaks down the numbers.
Gas prices are up this summer season, and they could jump even further. Take a look at these numbers. The national average stands at $3.75, according to AAA. That's up 1 cent from Saturday, 16 cents from last week, and 21 cents compared to a month ago. The national average is the highest it's been all year, with California topping the list for the most expensive gas prices, followed by Washington State and Hawaii.
Now we have this recent surge in gas prices, which may convince a few consumers maybe to stay closer to home ahead of the Labor Day holiday. And of course, between now and then, we could see higher prices.
Industry experts say higher oil prices are to blame for the surge in gas prices. There's still sanctions on Russian gas imports globally. OPEC and its allies agreed to cut oil production after flagging oil prices last year. Also, America's emergency oil stockpiles have dropped to historic lows under President Biden since his administration heavily tapped into the reserve to curb skyrocketing gas prices.
I think part of the reason why the market is suddenly swinging to the upside is the end of those strategic petroleum reserve releases that ended in early July. And now the market is swung into an imbalance that will probably grow over the months ahead, and that could push oil prices up even more significantly.
And another big concern is hurricane season. If a big hurricane hits and causes some kind of pause in oil production here in the U.S., that can also drive up gas prices. Well, firefighters are used to saving human lives, but what about those of newborn animals? Wait till you see what happened in Coeur d'Alene this weekend. Well, going to the extreme to save the life of a baby bird. Check out what firefighters in Coeur d'Alene did. Viewer Jonah Young sent us this video of firefighters getting the baby bird back to its nest. Well, turns out it fell out and both mama and its siblings were chirping, crying for help. The large fire truck was already out, so firefighters simply swung in over and helped out. Well, dance videos, emotional caught on camera moments, all things that you can find on TikTok. What else people are turning to on the platform for? You're staying up late with us. If you see this guy walking through Ferret State Park in North Idaho, experts warn it's a bad idea. Turns out they say the billy goat is being aggressive towards people and pets. Experts say you should not approach wildlife under any circumstances and make sure your pets are leashed. Where do you get your medical advice? Most people would say the doctor, but a new study finds that TikTok users prefer to get medical advice from influencers. That goes from everything from diet, exercise to sex. Researchers say the big problem with this, people are self-diagnosing their issues. They add that the video lacks vital information and fell short of promoting positive change. All right, time for a quick break. Hey, let's have a final look at that forecast right after the break.
Taking a final look at those forecast highs for our Monday. 87 degrees in Spokane, 87 in Potlatch, 88 in Coeur d'Alene. So we are cooling down just a little bit. We're still seeing the mid-90s for the LC Valley, 91 degrees for our friends in Tri-Cities, 90 degrees in Moses Lake. Taking a look at that 7-day forecast, first day of August, believe it or not, is on Tuesday, 88 degrees and sunshine on the way, jumping back up to the low 90s by Wednesday. Could see some widespread haze tomorrow because of the fires we've seen burning for the last couple hours.
Your mic works.
My mic works. Noah's off to the side. I got a mic that's working just fine.
Noah's got bad juju. Have a great night.